Good morning, everyone. It's Scrappy Kathy, and I'm in a mixed media frenzy. To be honest, um, I, I selected this original for us to do today, this week, for the team to do this week, and I did it because I love not only the watery look and then the stars that are look like texture pasted on there, but that line of trees, and that there are flowers usually on mixed media layouts, and I kind of like this about most of my mixed media layouts. There's not a lot of paper stuff going on. There's a lot of texture and stamping and inking and painting and stuff that gives you the dimension without the paper. But this one has a long title, a lot of paper elements in the flowers and little word strips and so forth, and it's just busy enough to get my attention and for me to have this desire to want to do it. And just, I'll kind of give you an example. I don't know if you can see, but this is one of those mixed media trees, and there's just a little tiny paper flower kind of in the tree. Looks like it just fell on the tree. I don't know. There's just something about it that I love. Little tiny flower peeking out from behind the photo cluster there. Scallops around the photo. Anyway, I love it. But I have absolutely no idea how to do it. So the photo I'm going to use, I've already matted it. And I matted it with a scrap of Obed Marshall paper that I turned two ways. It wasn't wide enough. And I think that's a Rosie Studio. No, that's a Hello Summer Simple Stories sticker tab there. And then there's another piece of Obed Marshall paper back there. And I took a sticker from that Hello Summer sheet. Let me get it over here. I can't grab it. This is the line, and there's this sticker down here, and I actually distressed the edges of it. I just kind of wanted it to show up against that. But this is a photo of John on our 30th wedding anniversary. We went down, we had just, been in Georgia for a couple years, and we went down to South Georgia to a place called Lake Blackshear, and we, for economy's sake, we actually got a special and booked it during the week, and prices were much lower. What we didn't realize is all the services weren't there, except all the amenities and services weren't available except on the weekends. So, but we were able to, excuse me, that you know about my bronchitis, and it's kind of breaking up now, and so the coughing is maybe a little more frequent, but a little less severe. Anyway, we were able to rent this pontoon boat, and we actually went out about every day that we were there, and went completely around the lake, checking out people's homes, getting landscaping ideas and all kinds of things, and just having picnics out there. Like I said, most of the amenities weren't open, so we did a lot of walking and a lot of boating and just kind of, hanging out. So it was a wonderful trip. This photo and all the matting is so large that I'm not going to have room for as many trees as in the original. But the photo is such that I can layer some flowers or some other embellishments kind of over it. The only thing that's important in this photo, and I ran it through a filter that kind of faded it out, the only thing that's important in the photo is that big old smile. So the details, I kind of like the lines of the marina buildings in the background, and you can kind of see the trees there. I'm going to use palm trees because there were palm trees there, but I'm also going to use some evergreens, which is going to kind of look like Christmas in summertime or something like that. I'm not quite sure how that's going to look, but I am willing to risk it. I have this felt stuff. This came in a Redefined Creative Cuts Club kit, and so I'm going to cut pieces of it, and I'm going to, my mixed media trees are going to be palm trees. So how I'm going to start, this is my idea. I'm going to use a whole slew of Distress Oxides, and I've got every color of blue spray ink, every type of blue spray ink. I've got this old color mist that I got from Archivers. That's by October Afternoon, so that tells you how old that is. And it's called Boarding or Set Sail from the Boarding Pass collection. And then I've got Delusions, London Blue. I've got a Sapphire Glimmers paints from Shimmers. I have Tattered Angels, Glimmer Mist in a Moonlight color. I have an Adirondack Color Wash in Stream, Distress Spray Stain in Blueprint Sketch, which is one of my favorite blues, and this is Powder Puff, which is a Shimmers Spritz, and I've got my trusty white, this used to be Delusions white spray ink, but I have diluted some paint and gesso in here to make it very opaque. So first thing I'm going to do is the Distress Oxides to kind of define the water. I'm going to spritz it a little bit with some water to get the water reactivity. Then I'm going to go over it and do I'm gonna use this stencil, which is a wall stencil, to do palm trees. I'm not quite sure what I have room for here. I could maybe if I push this over and I just do one palm tree there. And then maybe I'll have room for these two palm trees here, because I'm gonna have, okay, so we'll see how that works out. And then the very last thing I'm going to do is, instead of stars, I'm going to do texture paste and these hearts. This is a heart stencil from Paige Evans. So I've got that to go on there. And I have a whole tray of embellishments that I have fussy cut out of two different Simple Stories collections. One of them is this Hello Summer. The other one is You Are Here. And the You Are Here is a lot more muted tones. The Hello Summer's got a lot of brights, but I've kind of pulled some of the muted ones from there. I'm keeping the sticker sheet around because I may use it. I have a sticker sheet from Maggie Holmes, the Bloom collection, because it has some phrases that I like, and they're beginning to come unglued, so I think I want to use them as soon as possible. I have a couple sticker sheets here. I kind of like this My Guy thing that's there. If I have a spot for that, I may put that in. And there are a few stars that, if it looks like, those would be appropriate. I also like these little foam things. I especially like that little orange and pink heart, but I also like this little purple flower. May not fit into the theme at all, but I also like this star. So anyway, I'm going to put all this aside, and we'll get some oxides down, and then I'm going to kind of sprinkle these things over the oxides once I get that done, because I'm really trying to go for a kind of a varied blue. You can kind of see here it's a little bit greener down here, and it's a little more intense in the middle, and it kind of fades out. It's just really beautiful. So I have this iced spruce, which is kind of a faded grayish, greenish sort of blue. And I'm going to kind of get some of that around. Not make that a big feature color, but get it into the mix. It will almost give some shading or shadowing to the other blues. Now I've got tumbled glass here, which I'm going to go heavy on the tumbled glass up at the top, because it's the lighter color, and I'm kind of going for the colors to be lighter at the top and darker down at the bottom. So I should have used more of the iced spruce, but I'll use a little of this down here. And now I'm going to go in with the broken china. And this is really, there. I don't know if the different colors have different chemical structures that make them spread differently, but the broken china just smooths on. I have ordered some new applicators. I like these, but they are beginning to shed some of their bristles there. Okay, now I'm gonna get my water and kind of spritz it on, and I'm going to pull a little bit of packaging out of the trash and kind of do this. This is the wrapping to some frames I bought. I'm actually, you all know about the fact that I pick, every time I do a layout share, I pick a couple pages that I like the best, and I have a couple 12 by 12 clipboards that I have on a shelf. Okay, so that's somewhat giving us some water reactivity there. I'm gonna start with let me start with the lightest blue shimmery color here. And I'll just kind of get this around. And then once I get all of these sprinkles on here, I'm gonna go over it with a paper towel just once. All at once, rather than doing it in between. Because if these hit each other and blend, that's kind of something that would be a nice happy accident, and I would want that to happen. Okay, so let me put these, as I've used them, I'm going to put them off to the side. I'm going to try this Distress Spray Stain. I will admit this is not something I have used, and it has, as proof, this one isn't open. I do have another one that is open. I got two in different kits, but I haven't used, even this one that's open isn't open enough for me to be able to unscrew the top to sprinkle it. So I must have sprayed it at one time. I got it a few years ago, and I'm a little bit mystified by the differences in all of the various ink products, or ink-like products. I'm not sure I understand the difference between a stain and an ink and so forth. I pretty much just use them as I see fit. I use them like I want to, and if it works out, that's great. If it doesn't, now I can see that the stain has really made a much bigger spot, and I will tell you something right now, I like that. I like that a lot. This Tattered Angels Moonlight, I know, is very, very pale when it goes on, or at least it used to be. And it looks like it's a lot darker now, so it has kind of aged, I think. I'm liking this. It looks a little bit different from the original. Let's see, we've already used that. We're down now to the Dilutions, which is this is the shimmer spray Dilutions in the London Blue. And that's one of my very favorite colors in that line of inks. It's a really beautiful blue. Okay, now I'll take my paper towel and bring it down. Okay, so now I'm going to do the palm trees. And to be honest, I hadn't picked out the ink colors for the palm trees. I'm gonna go with let's see, I could do a blend of peeled paint and mowed lawn for the palm trees, and then let me do excuse me, I'll do my trusty gathered twigs for the trunks. So I'm just gonna do this guy right here. And I'm gonna do the trunk first. And this is a little domed applicator that I got as a, I'm going to go ahead and do the little sandbar as well. And I've gotten some brown up on the leaf, and that's probably going to be okay. Let me do this one, or these two over here. I don't think you'll see the sandbar once I do the little line of felt trees. Okay, that's done. Now let me get the leaves done. And I've kind of got a little bit restricted space. This is the mowed lawn. And I'm going to kind of do it maybe up towards the top. And then I'll do the other color. I'll kind of blend it and have it more towards the bottom. And I'm going to try to introduce some water reactivity to this as well, because that's one of the things I really liked about the original. Okay, the peeled paint is a lot different green, so we'll see how that. And I like doing it over the blue because it's kind of picking some of that up, and it's got the little spots in it, so it's going to look like part of the mixed media. Okay, so there. See how that brown kind of actually just enhances those leaves? This one doesn't have much definition on those upper leaves. I'm going to add in a little there. Okay, I'm going to put that aside. And I'm going to, right now, see if, let me do this first, and then I'll do the water on those. I know that the photo's going to go kind of smack here. I know that I'm going to have, because of the orientation of the embellishments, I'm going to have an embellishment cluster here, and then one here, and one down here. So I'm going to have a big one here, a small one here, and a small one here. So there will be room for hearts. The hearts will show up at the top if I do them kind of over in this area. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to put the texture paste on very lightly. And kind of not fully filling the stencil. Or not fully filling the stencil. Okay, so there. And there, it looks like there's some pink left on the stencil, which gives it an interesting outline, and it makes the hearts pink. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to do some down here, a little down towards the low end of the page. And this texture paste I'm using is a, it's called Carvable modeling paste. And what I like about it is that it can go on light or thick, and you can kind of do it either way you choose to apply, and it kind of it maintains its structure without being gritty or rough. It's kind of a soft paste that still holds its shape. Okay, so I've got hearts there, there, and there, and then embellishments are going to be there. So that shouldn't take too long to dry. I'm going to take just a minute to clean off my palette knife and my stencil. Let me get a baby wipe here. My next thing I'm going to do, like I said, is kind of do some water reactivity on the palm trees. Okay, this I can now put aside, and I think this is pretty well cleaned off, including I'm cleaning off some of that pink apparently. Okay. So let's try now. That's reacting with some of the blue inks, which is fine with me. Now, fairly quickly, I'm going to blot that. It took up a fair amount of the color over here, but it left just a really nice pattern. I didn't want to roll the roll over because it would smash down my texture paste, so I'm just kind of selectively blotting this. Okay, so that gave it that kind of fading into the background look that these trees have, and that's kind of what I was going for. It's actually exactly what I was going for. Okay, so now I'm going to work on my photo cluster while this dries. I'm going to, first thing I'll do is put a, excuse me, I'm so sorry. I think I actually feel good enough to get out today and go pick up my sewing machine from the repair shop. Okay, so that I'm just going to kind of place the palm trees fit perfectly, or it fits perfectly in between the palm trees. Let me go ahead and kind of do that. I'll see how much much I've got to work with there. Let's see. I'm going to cut that one maybe down the middle and hope I'm doing it in a straight enough line that it works right there. Okay, and the photo should cover that end of it. And then this one, I could turn them over, or I could do it like this. And that should go kind of right in there, and I'll cut this one down the middle. Okay. So that gives me my line there. And after this is all over, I'm going to go over this with some white. I don't want to do it now. And another of the things that I really liked about the original was the long title. And I have a selection of titles here from BrambleFox. I've got the Let's Wander, which is appropriate because we were wandering around the state of Georgia at the time. There's Stay Together, and there's Celebrate, and somewhere in there I have an ampersand. What I thought I could do is use it all. And at the top it could say Let's Wander, and then Celebrate and Stay Together. And it's, or Let's Wander, Stay Together, and Celebrate. I could do it that way. I like that, actually. And we were celebrating our anniversary. So I think I'm going to do that. I love actually using 3 of the BrambleFox titles on one page. And I have a bunch of BrambleFox hibiscus and tropical leaves that kind of go along with the collection here. I've also pulled a lot of flares. I have a few bits from Salt and Sunsets by Rosie Studio. And like I said, I had those 2 Simple Stories collections. And I have some die cuts cut with, they're clouds, cut with a BrambleFox die, or die set. Let's see, I've got several different little clouds here. And so I have a little tiny flower, fussycut flower, and I think I have some other small flowers, or if I don't, I can cut some so that I can get that kind of little sprinkling of flowers look that the original has. Okay, I don't think the texture paste is completely dry, but I think everything's dry enough for me to do some gluing of the line of trees. Okay. There we go. And because this glue doesn't dry as fast as my Nouveau glue, I can kind of move things around. Okay. Just kind of want to make sure that it's anchored really well there. Okay, and it's not exactly at the same. It's not as, this one's not as high as the other one, but it's pretty much, it is where it is. And when I do this, you're just kind of not hardly gonna notice it. Okay, I did have a couple little things to go on the on here. I have this Oh Happy Day, which is one of the stickers from that Simple Stories collection, and I wanted to put it right here, and I left part of it unglued. So that this little palm tree could kind of slide in under it. So that's my plan there. And there's that. And I thought maybe I could have a like a small spray of flowers, but I guess maybe I could do that on the page. Okay, and I need to see where the title's gonna go. Okay, I'm going to put some of this glue on here because the background is still wet. Tape probably wouldn't hold, and I think this will. Let me get this here. Now, in addition to, I didn't tell you about this, in addition to doing the lift for this week's Mixed Media Frenzy, I'm also doing the BrambleFox challenge for the month of September, which is based on this mood board. And the mood board has palm trees, ice cream bars, tropical drinks, and a swimming pool floaty. And I don't have, I had some BrambleFox swimming pool floaties, but I don't have any of those. I certainly have the tropical greenery and flowers here, and I do have, let's see, that can go like right there. I'm just going to kind of place, there's room for it to kind of slide under the palm tree, which is what I had in mind. And then I've got this image of the pool floaty right here. And it could go maybe right there, and I can layer some other things. I also have this one that I may just need to save for a different layout, because I like this one with that extra flower on it. I've got this, which I thought could go right here. And then a bunch of other stuff kind of layered around. Let's see. This maybe could go overlapping that. Well, let's just start gluing stuff down, why don't we? I want this raised, as I usually do. Maybe like that. And then I'll work the rest of it in. I want this to stop right above, so a little bit of that blue striped line shows. And then I can worry about gluing that down if I feel like I need to, which I must feel like that because I'm fixing to do it. This will just kind of anchor it. I don't know about you, but I am just loving those palm trees and how that kind of faded look. Okay, here. And I really want this raised up, so I'm going to do a double row of tape. I don't want to, I hate covering up those flowers. I don't want to cover them up too much. So actually, I'm going to change the way this tape is on here. I'm going to put this off to the side so it can kind of go like that. Okay, that works for me. Let's wander. And then we've got stay together. We have and. Celebrate. And you all know that John and I were all about celebrating eighths. So this was an eighth. It was August 8th of 2011. Anniversary number 30. I guess I ought to glue these down. And I'm going to go ahead and commit. And I should probably be committed for doing this because each of these titles would be so impressive on their own. On any page. Which is why I've been hoarding them. And okay. And I love the blue. It's just I just can't get enough of Distress Oxides. That water reactivity is just amazing. Okay, so there. And then my big old ampersand, and I'm going to put it on a double layer of tape. I want it to be touching both titles. So there, it's touching the Stay Together, and here it's touching the Celebrate. Okay, now let's look. I've got this, which could be the floral thing I was looking for there. And that kind of ties in that brighter green color. Although I think I kind of had pictured something a little bit smaller. Maybe I could do this down here. These things that I have cut are a little bit too big for what I had in mind. This one will work just fine right here. And maybe I'll layer it over that. Okay, I will put this one directly on the page with some foam under here, just to lift it up a bit. But I didn't want it lifted up at the edge. Sometimes I do that, and sometimes I tend to regret it. Okay, this could either be layered underneath that, maybe. Or I kind of like this. And these are from two different collections. They're both simple stories. And they both have the kind of salmon pink color to them that goes with the flamingo there. And I'm raising this up kind of with the idea in mind that that I can use a flare piece. Let's see, maybe here, maybe this one, right under there. Okay, I like that. And that gives me a repetition of that teal kind of color. Okay, now I have a couple different types of drinks that I want to work into the page. I've got this one and this one. And I could maybe do this one here. I'm probably going to do some florals over there. My plans were to do a cluster over here, and I probably will. I can do that there, and then this can kind of layer in under there. And that is reflective of that tropical drink section of the mood board. There, and I'm going to go ahead and use a let's see, I'm going to use a tiny floral just so that I don't forget it. I want to put it right there. kind of let it look like it's dropped there. Okay, this is something I could probably use right here. I have these florals from Rosie's studio that I think I'm not going to use. This, I think we've decided, is too big, so I'm going to put it in the pile. I'm going to use this frame as kind of a basis for this. Excuse me. Just kind of have it right there, and then I will put this on foam kind of layered over it. And then I want to put this anchor here. I'm gonna use some foam on it. Just have a little bit different look there. I have a camera that I kind of want to work in there, and the other thing I'm trying to do is a focus on florals for Spoonful of Scraps, and so okay, that works there. So I kind of want to really work in. Let me get the clouds in the sky before I lose them. There isn't that much blue up high, and I did layer the lighter blue, so these white clouds won't show up as much as they might have otherwise, but you know me, I kind of like the look of white on white. This cloud actually can layer in behind those flowers. It has a little heart cut out of it. It was the inside of, well, actually it has a little piece of the cloud. It was the inside of this. And I don't want to throw it away, so I use it right there. It's another layered cloud. I've got another one here. It's layered and it's cut and embossed around the edges, and it's beautiful. And I'm going to put it here by those flowers. And I have another little tiny cloud. This one has a heart cut from it, and I'm missing the actual cloud that, here it is. Here, it's stuck to that flower. Okay, come on. Oh, come on. How did that happen? Okay, this has the little heart. I'm going to put it here. I didn't glue that down, did I? Or did I? I did. Okay. It just hasn't stuck yet. And these are moving around as well. That is not a good glue for mixed media scrapbooking, I would say. Maybe I'll put this guy right there. And I've got this guy with a little heart. I can use these for another page. I have this camera that could come out as part of this, and then I can layer some flowers underneath and a flare or two. Okay, that goes there. This flower can kind of go there. If you didn't see my video yesterday, I've discovered this glue while looking for something else in an organizing frenzy that I got into this past week when I was sick. And I'm committed to using things that I've bought and paid for and not replacing other things that I might prefer. Or that I might have gotten used to. Either way you want to look at it. And I'm going to put this on a piece of foam. I still haven't got the flowers I want for behind this. I'm going to do that right there. And then it seems like this flare might be nice right there to pick up that orange, and it's close enough to the orangey flowers over here. Let's see, do I want it? I'll put it there. This is a little tiny floral piece that could kind of go right in there. I'm committed to using anything that I've gone to the trouble of fussy cutting. I'm gonna try to use it, because if I don't, it'll get lost and tossed around and ruined, and it'll end up in the vacuum cleaner. So this was obviously an offcut of something else. Okay, that works. And I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing. I've been working down here in this corner. Excuse me. Okay, now I kind of like this. I'm going to leave that there. this little sunshine back behind there. And it'll be kind of behind the palm tree and the cloud and the flowers, like the sun and the clouds are from the same die set from BrambleFox, and I have to tell you that the quality of those dies and I guess the imaginative designs are such that it's one of those things I kind of feel like I need every one, every one they make. Let's see. Okay, that there, underneath this cloud, I'm layering the cloud, the flower, and the sun back here, but I want the sun straight. Can't have a crooked sun. Okay, now I've got that. I need a flare for over here, and I've got this one that is kind of a cross between that salmon pink color of the flamingo and the orange that we've seen in there. So let me pull it out and get a oops. I'll move that off of its little resting place. Okay, there. And I thought maybe I could do a tiny flower there. I like the blue one. Let me cut it and get it on there, and I'll kind of tuck it up here behind the pineapple. There. But a couple more flowers I like. Let's see. Okay, I have these. Oops. And I almost forgot them. I definitely want okay. That can go there. This can kind of layer just slightly under it. And I can mix in see, these flowers are exactly the same color as those in that one Simple Stories set. I've got this leaf that can go under there. And again, that's that liquid glue that's not sticking. So I'm going to, it's not drying as quickly as I'd like. The project I finished yesterday, it does dry just fine, and it works great, but okay. But while you're working on a project, and I tend to be like a bull in a china closet, and I, move things around and touch stuff while I'm working, so I tend to, if things can move, they'll get moved around by me. Okay, this is just too much fussing. There's that. I don't know that I really wanted that sticking up that much, but this can go there, and then it seems like I maybe could use another flower or leaf, maybe. I want to put one of these here too, because this is the exact style and color of that flower, so maybe just layering that right there would be cute. So let me do a little glue on there, and remember that it isn't going to dry. All right, there. And I need something here. Do I need a flower or a leaf? Maybe that leaf, and maybe this flower goes on top. Yeah, we'll do that. That's what we'll do. And of course the other leaf is moving. And I don't want that to happen. Excuse me. It'd be nice to get through a video without having to say excuse me one of these days soon. Okay. Here we go, and I'm just going to do that right there. Now, got that there. Maybe, it seems like there needs to be a little color over here. How about this flower kind of just slightly tucked under that L? Okay, I think I'm done. I'm gonna stand up and look at it and see. Okay, that needs to be moved back into place. That seems to be stuck pretty well. That we know is not stuck down. I've got a few other, that's cute. Let's see if there are stickers here. I like the Just Chillin'. I really like that chillin', but I don't need anything that big. But if I had the Just Chillin', where would I put it? I kind of like the So Happy. I'm going to put that aside because I think that's the last. Maybe right there. It's not sticking. I may go back. If those haven't stuck in the next couple of hours, I'll go back with a different kind of glue. And we may put this in the workshop for some other kinds of projects. There was something in this, A Perfect Day, and and I love you. Maybe right there. And maybe right here. Okay, I think I'm done. And the mixed media in my, as I view this, the mixed media really sets the stage for everything else. There's a lot more paper stuff going on than in my most of my mixed media pages, and in fact in most of the ones that I tend to like, but in this case I'm very, very happy with that. And I am going to add some white just to get a kind of that sprinkled look on the palm trees. And I didn't want to get it on the title, so I'll stop doing that. Maybe a little bit wherever the blue kind of shows. And okay, so there. I think we're done. I'm going to very carefully bring this up and kind of show you the detail. You can see the white sprinkles on the palm tree there and the two trees there. Okay, so we're done. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next Friday for another Mixed Media Frenzy. And have fun with inks and paints over the next week or so. Bye.